The fear never leaves me. I'm always nervous. But it's through my experiences that I have a much stronger belief in my abilities. Fear is an essential component to the euphoria that comes afterwards. It's extremely difficult, it's extremely dangerous too. And obviously there are limits to how far you can push it. The cold has a profound and devastating effect on the human body, but more so on the mind. And I've spent a lot of time studying this, preparing myself for it, and trying to figure out how to overcome it. I really love the adrenaline aspect of what I do. You know, if there's not a little bit of adrenaline in my day, then I'm bored. My name is Ryan Stra Root. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm an ice swimmer. I'm a founding member of the International Ice Swimming Association. The association defines and records ice swims around the globe. If you want to say you've done an official ice swim, one has to swim a 1,609-meter distance, that's 1 mile, in an outdoor body of water that is 5 degrees Celsius or below, wearing only a Speedo-type costume, a pair of goggles, and a swim cap. The association organizes events around the world. We had our first world champs in Murmansk, Russia, earlier this year, and the next one is in Tumin, Siberia in December. I'm in Iceland because I've never had a swim in a glacier lake before. And Iceland is well known for its glacier lakes, which are often extremely hostile and cold. And what better place for an ice swimmer to come and take on a serious challenge? I would begin the previous day. I go to the location to visually get everything in my head, where I'm going to swim, what it looks like, from which point to the next point, what the currents are, gather every detail so I can do the mental preparation.
Let's get the official temperature. I know this is going to be tough. There's a lot of ice, far more ice in the water, scattered in the water than I originally thought. -1. The reading's -1. It's actually salt water. Water freezes below 0 when it's salt. I didn't realize it was salt water. It's going to be tough. This is going to be very, very tough.
The extreme cold makes you negative. It induces pain, it induces panic, induces fear, and those all come together very quickly to accentuate self-doubt. As humans, we have not evolved well to handle the cold, but we've evolved well to avoid it. So our minds are designed to get us out of 5 degree or below water. You are literally dying very quickly. And to be able to perform, to stay in, to keep a level head under those circumstances, and to offset the deadly effects of hypothermia for as long as possible, it's a crazy discipline.
On my way to the fish market to source a tub which we can fill with water and ice. Bring the temperature right down of the water to probably 1 or 0 degrees, and that's where I'm going to do my final preparations for the swim tomorrow.
Originally, I'm an ultra-extreme open water swimmer. That's usually swimming in extremely hostile places with rough currents, unpredictable weather.
Hello. I'm Ryan. It's my sister, Gillian. Hi. She travels with me. And
I've never used a wetsuit or any kind of grease to protect me. It's just extreme cold endurance. In 2008, I did the English Channel crossing from Dover in the UK, 36 kilometers across to France. It was my first real long-distance swim challenge, and I realized that effect that the cold has on my mind and on me.
I like it.
I hooked up with a couple of like-minded mates in Cape Town, and we started finding places around the world to test ourselves, our own abilities, different swim races and different challenges, one in Alaska, just wearing our Speedos. And it was shortly after that Rombo Kai started the International Ice Swim Association. I live in South Africa, and an ice bath is an essential part of our training so we can simulate those ice-cold conditions, so our body and our minds can understand the processes that are going to take place, that panic, that pain, and that fear, so that we can process that and understand what we're dealing with when we get into the water to complete our challenge. When I get into the water, my body implements its defense mechanisms to keep me alive. And I need to be familiar with those.
It's freezing. Body reacting, feet in pain, hands, fingernails in pain. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful feeling. If it wasn't so traumatic.
It's a horrible, painful process. I need to understand it. I need to remember it before I undertake the challenge. What I've learned from jumping into ice water is to look at the world differently, to look at my world differently, at myself, at my little problems and all those little impossibles in my life that have been holding me back. It's an opportunity for me to grow mentally. I've been pushing my limits and human boundaries in the planet's most inhospitable places. And this has allowed me the opportunity to stand in front of thousands of people as an inspirational speaker, to share my story, with a humble hope that I may be able to change people's lives. I take the lessons that I learn from the different challenges I take on in the ice, and I share that to different boardrooms and different corporates. I have a big, wonderful, happy family. They have been unbelievably supportive. When I began this extreme stuff, they didn't see it coming. They begged me not to do it, as it's very dangerous. But they're always so proud once I've done it and I come home alive. Once you've achieved things that everybody tells you, please don't do this, you'll die, it becomes addictive. It's hard, it's tough. Yes, I need medical help, but I think I can do a little bit more each time.
This is the day of the challenge. Yeah, very, very nervous. I've got that nervous energy that I always feel before a big challenge like this. But I've done the work mentally. I'm ready for it. I actually can't wait to get in that water. You know, it's the apprehension and the nerves and the fear that we're here to conquer. That's what I enjoy.
A rescue team is absolutely essential. So much can go wrong so quickly in ice water that you need to have the necessary support alongside.
That's good. That's the way it is.
Yeah, the rescue team and I have had discussions about what's best and how we're going to recover. They will also be watching for the signs that they know where I'll be pushing past a point that the rescue team are possible. They're going to let me do my thing, but it's very comforting for me to know they're there.
My last thoughts are usually about my family. I try not to get too emotional. I'll send a small video message to my son so he has some record. Things can go very wrong very quickly with what I do.
Hi Jess, it's Dad. I'm about to go for a little swim here where it's very cold, where there's lots of ice. And before I go in, you know, I always want to send you a little message to tell you how much I love you and that I'm going to be careful and everything's going to be fine and I'm going to see you very soon. Be a good boy. Love you.
A glacier lake, to me, it has all the elements. It has the extreme cold, it has the danger, and it just has that aura about it, that psychological factor that sits there, that you can see this mountain of ice with chunks of ice breaking off and carving and all the drama that goes with it. So it plays well into the psychological aspect of the sport as well. Just before I go in for the swim, I will do a couple of light press-ups and squats to encourage as much blood into my thigh and bicep muscles as possible, because the cold sucks the blood out of the muscles into the core, and the longer I keep it in the muscles, the longer I can perform. I make myself angry, I throw a few air punches. The more angry you are, the more heat you generate in your core. When I jump into ice water, I have a very focused mind. I'm so focused on not panicking, on not hyperventilating, that you offset the unbelievable pain that the ice water induces. First, there's the initial shock. Then quite rapidly, the pain sets in and your body feels extremely out of sorts. Very rapidly, the body goes numb. That happens in the first 40 to 50 meters already. You still have 1.5 kilometers thereafter.
And back.
And then it becomes a battle to stay alive. You know that the cold is sucking the life out of you. You lose all feeling in your arms and your legs. I remember having to look to see if my arms were still going around. it becomes extremely frightening because you feel things happening inside. Because all the blood has rushed inside to keep those vital organs alive in your core. But slowly you are losing the capability to focus as you get more confused as hypothermia starts to settle in. It's a fantastic feeling. The main rush is when you survive it. Firstly, when I get out, I'll be absolutely fine. But then there's a phenomenon called the afterdrop. When you finish your swim, the blood that was drawn into your body's core starts to release and it flows back to your extremities, which are now frigid. And that warm blood cools very rapidly and then circulates back to your core, which makes your core temperature continue to drop after your swim. Then once the shivering starts, I'll be in a lot of pain, but it's a good sign and I'll eventually be fine. I will never stop swimming, but perhaps I'll slow down on ice swimming.
My hands. Oh, so